Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe with a 3.5 liter GLS. As you know, this vehicle has came to an end, and this will be our last video. We put so much money into repairs for this car, and we're just deciding to get rid of it. This thing is very reliable. I did trade it for a 2013 Ford F-150 with a 5.0 liter, and it'll be here today. We are trading this vehicle to somebody that I know that needs a reliable vehicle that runs. The only reason why it's, like I said, we're selling it because we put a lot of money into it, and we just no longer need it. This vehicle has been driven over 3,000 miles every 60 days, and we have just about had it. We'll show you what the inside of this thing looks like. We bought this vehicle 2 years ago for $1,500 when it could have sold for $45. This vehicle has been in an accident before, and it's been in 2 accidents for body damage, and it's been repaired. But it does have a dash mat, steering wheel. Everything's completely clean. It's got leather seats, which are kind of tannish or brownish. Has a few cosmetic damage that was already, like, the seats were like this when we bought it 2 years ago. The back seats are actually in perfectly good shape for a 04. The rear window's great. You know, none of these windows are cracked or busted. The headliner's in perfectly good shape. Even the sunroof's in good shape, and this is a sliding sunroof, not a moonroof. It doesn't leak or anything. These dome lights and everything, I mean, all the dome lights and everything work. The AC works. It has the original clock, the original radio. The CD player doesn't work because it doesn't take CDs, but AM FM radio does. It's got touch. It's a screen type AC climate control with buttons, not actual touch screen. We do have our fog light buttons, our hazards, our defroster, you know, and all that good mess. The glove department and everything's completely attached, not broke. Blower motor and everything works good. Transmission is strong. Got the original chrome look here. It's automatic transmission. It's got heated seats for both sides here. It's got the cup holders. It also has the center console. It's pretty deep. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. It has all the original handles and everything, which you can tell they are not broke on the front or the rears. The seat belts are in perfectly good shape, or not ripped. We have replaced the seatbelt buckles because they were shredded to crap. They were like $13 online for the powered ones, and this one has a powered one, but it's a manual type of seat, so it doesn't require for the seatbelt signal. The original steering wheel, it's in perfectly good shape. The only thing it's missing is the cruise control button. We have, like, the traction control button. As you can see, all the AC vents are perfectly in great shape, especially the ones on the sides. They're not broke. It's got the original speakers, and if you really want to know where the amp is, the factory amp for the radio is right here. I'm assuming these things can be replaced or upgraded or modified if you put a different radio in this thing, because I've heard things about the radios, you know, sound not working out of it if you don't have the correct harness or the bypass for the amp. The tires on the back are actually in perfectly good shape. I mean, they're 2 years old. The tires on the front do need to be replaced because you can tell these tires are getting dull. They've been on this car, I would say, probably about 3 years, because we bought the car 2 years ago and these tires were already on it. As you can tell, this is the back of the car. These door panels are in perfectly good shape. Still got leather seats in the back. Everything's great, you know, even the back of the headliner, no rips, no tears. This vehicle's never been smoked in, anything like that. We've replaced the brake light on the back, the third braking light. This is the rear cargo space of the vehicle. Carpet's completely clean. Everything's attached. It had grease back here, but I got carpet cleaner and scrubbed it out. Came out perfectly. Even have the little net holders for like books or Bibles or whatever you want to use. Ashtray, we have the original cup holders, which work famously. There is no under the seat type of thing where you can put stuff underneath there. It's just mounted to the floor. But these seats do fold back and forth from here to here, and these flip up. These are a pain in the ass because these straps don't want to work like they want to, but they do work. We're going to show y'all the back. I can't show y'all the license plate for security purposes. This is the rear. Has a cubby back here. Carpet's in perfectly good shape. It was carpet cleaned. And just have a undercarriage here in the back. Not for the spare tire. This is for cargo space, as you can tell, for like air pumps, jumper cables, whatever. The actual jack is here, the factory Hyundai jack. These tail lights and everything are brand spanking new with new harnesses. Bumper's in perfectly good shape. Especially the rear's not rusted or anything, in perfectly good shape. And we're going to show you one more final thing on this, too. Just so y'all know. This is what the engine looks like in this vehicle. It's got the V6 3500 series. A lot of the stuff is brand new. Power steering pump, AC compressor, throttle position sensor. The throttle accelerator back there is brand new. The hose has been replaced for the air intake. Mass flow has not been replaced. This battery has been placed with a Super Start Premium from O'Reilly's. Air filter's been replaced. The thermostat, spark plugs, coils, the whole 9 yards. This vehicle has been cleaned up, pressure washed, and ready to go. I thought I would just make a video on this vehicle to show y'all this is the last time we would ever own a Hyundai. I mean, this thing has broke down at least the past 5 weeks. It's broke down every weekend, especially on like a Friday. And usually on this car with certain repairs, it's taken us at least a week to fix it. Now, this thing does have a bike rack, a storage rack for traveling. The original one that was on here was was plastic. This one is actually metal. And if y'all are just wanting to know how do I get a metal one, well, especially here in Florida, I do not see very many roof racks not roof racks. I don't see very many. There's actually a four-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe I seen at the junkyard a month ago. And I don't know if that's accurate as far as if they make them in 4x4 or if it was customized, but it said 4x4 in the rear of the actual hatch. And this is actually metal. This one does. The 4x4s or the all-wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe's, these racks will fit the 3.5 liter, which are just the regular GLS model. And they will fit this one fine, especially on the two-wheel drive. It takes one person to take it off and to install it. The roof and everything's in perfectly good shape, has no rust or nothing. The only thing you really notice is like maybe a couple scratches here. You know, this is normal, which you'll find on like older vehicles over time. A lot of these were already here when we bought it. And look, we have a caterpillar. These actually bite in Florida. They fall off our trees. And they're everywhere. You gotta watch out because they will bite you, and they land on you and they leave like a rash mark. So you gotta be careful, especially around here. We do have the original mirrors for this car and everything. I watched it yesterday. See, the thing is, I have a friend of mine that wants this vehicle because it's a friend that I went to school with. She has one child and her boyfriend's trucks broke down. They need something that runs, that's liable. I mean, we were honest with him. We told him what it's been doing, what all the parts we replaced, everything like that. And she lost her job because of her last vehicle. And the deal was with this, we were going to sell it for about between $12 to $1,300, but they need a vehicle. So I said, look, let me get that Ford F-150 because it runs. It just needs a fuel pump, even though the value is not as high on this compared to the truck, and it might be an older car, but she says that the truck's costing her a lot of money. She said the truck's too big for her, with her and her boyfriend, just one kid. It's cost almost about $100 in gas for it. And so she says it was a memory of her father because he died, but she wanted to let it go. She talked to her family members. They said, you do what you got to do. So I'm helping the girl out by giving her a trade-off. This is my wife's vehicle. I've talked to her about it. She's getting the title for this car tomorrow. We're getting the title for the truck. I'm getting the title for the truck tomorrow. And I told her that if it's not digital, if you cannot pay the $10 for digital and it's only paper, I told her that we would pay her to $77 to get the title out for me to have it quicker, and she would have to pay us back this week if she can't pay for it, if it's not digital. Because in Florida, it's $77 to get a duplicate title. If it's digital and it's electronic like mine was, it's only $4.50 in Florida. It used to be $10 as of a year and a half ago. My wife's is digital. But since the other vehicle can't be driven yet, we're going to go ahead and let it sit over here in my little driveway where I fix my vehicles. That's where the truck's going to go. And it'll be delivered here today between 5 and 6 p.m. because her uncle's bringing it over here. So that's what we're going to do. That's what's happening. But I told her she would have to pay me back because most people do not trade vehicles like that. And most of the time, there's not a lot of people out there that would help somebody with a trade for a vehicle that runs. We have 2 vehicles here. My wife wants my HHR because we're putting her name on the title because we're married. She's gonna drive it because it's a lot more reliable and it's never broke down. I babied it. This one here has had problems since we bought it. Like I said, the transmission and the motor is very strong. It just breaks down from time to time. We put more than $1,500 worth of repairs in it. It's all the big stuff like alternators. I would say I replaced everything besides the starter on this thing and the oxygen sensors. The EGR is original. I mean, those things I have not replaced because they haven't gone bad yet. We're talking about like alternator, power steering pump, all that big stuff. AC compressors all been replaced. The difference is in the truck, the AC doesn't work. It needs a new windshield because it's busted, but it's just cracked. It's not busted. And the tire needs to be replaced because it's got a hole in it. I mean, it's a 4-door truck, but it's like 2-door, but 2 hidden door. It's a 4-door, but it's got 2 hidden doors on the rear. It's a 2013 Ford F-150 5.0 XL model. Because I'm getting a truck. My wife doesn't want a truck. She wants to drive that. We need a truck because since we bought a home, if we have to buy stuff like furniture, whatever, we can do it. You can only limit so much in the SUV. So they want this vehicle. They test drove it. We even drove it with them. They like it. They said that the condition of this Hyundai, they said, is very nice because a lot of the Hyundais you see are not in this good of a condition. So I hope this video helps on the viewing of this car, and this will be the last video on the Hyundai Santa Fe. And I hope y'all have a great Easter and have a good one.